I think it's important, since your parents are here, and even if they weren't, to just kind of talk about their influence on you.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Yeah, regardless of if they were here or not, I'd probably speak on and could show you their influence on me. They're just both two very hardworking people. I come from a stable and sturdy and reinforced home. I've witnessed love from a very early point in my life, and support and communal values very early.
The spirituality in the album is just so strong. Is there a church home you want to shout out?
Yeah, shout out to Covenant Faith Church of God, formerly known as Emerald Avenue Church of God. Yeah, my church was, your church is cool too. My church is very raw though. My great grandmother started the day camp there. It's called Kids of the Kingdom, and my grandmother and my great aunt and my cousins and my aunts and my uncles and my best friends all grew up in this church camp, and I would spend my Sundays at church, and then I'd spend my summers at church, and that built, you know, some of my longest friendships and a lot of who I am as a person.
What made you feel that you could do your thing and not feel like you had to fit into this kind of corporate box?
There were a lot of things getting done without the machine. And what's even cooler than not working with the machine in terms of, like, you know, the speed and accuracy in which you get stuff done, is also like the machine is very old and has, you know, sharp, rigid cookie cutter, you know, technique. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is what we do. We did it for Christina. We did it for Brittany. Now we're gonna do it for you. And it's like, what if I'm not Christina or Brittany, you know? I might not be. I think I'm just lucky to be in the space that I'm in with the tools that I have to function as a free artist. Like, publishing, in terms of publishing music, isn't that old of an idea. Like, niggas being like, I own the publishing on that. Like, you guys, I don't know if you guys know anything about music, but I mean, not anything about music, but anything about how the music industry works, or how they break down in legal terms, how a record is broken down. So if I play your song on piano that you wrote, I have to pay you publishing money because it comes from that idea. Or if I sing a line from that song, it's from the publishing portion. If I sample the actual record, if I take a piece of that actual recorded music, that's from the master. None of that shit makes any sense, right? That shit didn't make any sense to you? Because that shit is goofy as hell. All of these ideas and constraints in terms of records and intellectual property and, you know, the legality of using that music or moving that music is all very new. And music is not. So since a very, very long time ago, there were people that would sit around on the street and they'd play an instrument, and anybody that walked past could get that music for free. And at a certain point, somebody said, let me get a hat. And they put money in that bitch. That was the beginning of the music industry.
There's a couple other things I want you to speak to in terms of the activism and the art. Do you feel that you've been talking with President Obama about My Brother's Keeper? You've been doing some work with the Robin Hood organization in New York City. You had the coat turned into a sleeping bag.
It's like it's a jacket that turns into a sleeping bag and an over-the-arm bag, and donate to this website so that we could buy them from people. And the coats are made by the homeless, and it's for this winter. That's like a lot of words for 140 characters.
How did that turn out?
Oh, it went well. We killed that shit. We got all the money, and hella people got coats. So, yeah. There's a lot of like thought that goes into like trying to figure out whether it's best to be you know, a mouth or a fist, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes your mouth is way more powerful than your fist. And sometimes you just gotta go out and use your fist. But like when there's physical movements and there's very powerful, you know, there's just a time to be outside in the streets and there's a time to be outside in the tweets. That's crazy. That shit was so wrong.